Okay, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to tell you a story while I'm working on something, while I'm fixing stuff, because that's what I do. Rids, ramblings, and repairs. Today I'm working on a Rochester throttle body off of a 1987 350 small block. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm taking it apart. I'm going to put it back together. Hopefully it'll still work when I'm done. The story I'm going to tell you is an automotive adventure that happened way back in the 90s. I don't remember exactly the story, exactly what the lineage of it. It's probably not the right way to say that. I was working at a summer theater company at a place out west, and I had gone over, don't remember exactly which trip this was on, but I had picked up my friend from Flagstaff, Arizona, and we had gotten in my 1990 Chevrolet Astro minivan, and we had driven it out to California to visit a mutual friend of ours in the San Francisco area. I don't remember exactly what suburb or area, but it was in the San Francisco area. And so we're driving along, middle of the afternoon, summer, hot, no air conditioning. We're driving along, and we're probably an hour away or so from our destination. We're within the maybe a little less. We were kind of within the metro area, so to speak. We weren't out in the middle of the boonies, but we were not really super close. We're driving along. This is long before cell phones and stuff. Google Maps, whatever you want to call it, virtual maps. And we're driving along on the interstate, and all of a sudden, the power steering goes out. Hang on, I'll be right back. We're rolling along, and I just feel like that just all of a sudden I don't have any power steering. It's kind of okay. We're on the interstate. It's not like it requires a lot of effort to steer the thing whenever it's rolling down the interstate at 70 miles an hour or however, whatever it was. And so I mentioned to my friend that something isn't quite right, and he's like, "Whoa, what's going on?" I was like, "Well, I'm not quite sure." So he's grabbing at the road atlas trying to figure out where the next exit is. I'm trying to diagnose what's going on, because all of a sudden I just don't have any power steering. Well, I look down at the gauges and I realize not only do I not have any power steering, I also, the voltage gauge is just laid over flat to zero. I'm like, well, this is a problem. I look over and I see the water temperature starting to go up. I'm like, okay, probably lost the fan belt. Not too bad. I've got a spare in the back because, you know, me. And I'm thinking, no problem. Well, pull off this, there's an exit there, comes up in a mile or so. There's an exit there, roll down the end of the ramp. There's a gas station there, roll across into the gas station parking lot. And this is just, you know, this was before the days of the big, awesome convenience stores. I mean, convenience stores were a thing, but this one didn't happen to be that. It was just a little service station. And rolled in there and opened the hood, and pretend this is the shaft coming out of the water pump, and the pulley that's supposed to be like this is like this on the shaft, and the belt's just hanging down there. The belt's not even broke. So I'm like, holy crap, we need a new pulley. And it's like 5 something, probably not even 5. It was right around 5 o'clock, give or take a few minutes, 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. going in to pick some holiday weekend in the summer where everything was going to be closed on Monday. I don't know if the car dealerships would have been open or not, but anyway. We need a new pulley. And so we go in and talk to the guy at the service station, and this is back before you had the internet on your phone, so you could just figure out where the nearest place was. And I asked if there were any General Motors dealers close by. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's one just up around the corner there." And so I was like, "No, I don't have. I got one shot at this. I need to have very specific instructions." So he was kind enough to give us very specific instructions about where to turn. We wrote it all down, how to get there, and a couple miles away. And so we fired the thing up and started driving, and rolled into the big Chevrolet dealership right there. Oh, looky there. And it was just minutes. It was after 5 o'clock. And I'm like, there's no way. We are sitting on the side of the road until Monday, because I don't know what we're doing. And rolled in, parked right between the new cars out in the dealer lot, and went over. The parts department was open until 6 o'clock. Exciting. I walked up and I said, "I need a water pump pulley for a 1990 Chevrolet Astro." And the guy didn't even say a word, just looked at me, listened until I finished my sentence, turned around, went back through the little double door thingy there, came back just moments later with a box in his hand, pulled a pulley out of it, threw it on the counter. "Is that what you need?" I said, "Yeah." He said, $12. I was expecting it to be much more than that. But anyway, it's $12. So I go out to the van, and my friend is like, "Well, okay, now what?" Well, it's me. I open the back of the van, get the toolbox out, start tearing into it. Pull the fan shroud out so you can get to it. Take the bolt. This is back before he had a single nut on the thing. Took the 4 bolts out to hold the fan clutch to the water pump pulley, to the water pump, and the water pump pulley. Pull the water pump pulley out, throw it on the side of the road. Grab the new water pump pulley, put it back on there. And I think I was worried about this not working, and so I didn't put the fan back on it. I just put the nuts back on it. Water pump pulley with 4 bolts holding it on the water pump, and then put the belt back on it and fired it up. It was running good. We threw all the tools in the back of the van, and it was less than an hour from the time that we were, because I looked at the clock at the time that the power steering pump failed, or the power steering went out on the interstate. I looked over at the clock on the dash and remembered the time, and then whenever we pulled back out on the freeway after putting the pulley back in, it was just under an hour from the time that we identified the problem to the time that we were back on the road after the problem. So there you go. That's my story about losing the water pump in California on a big trip far away from home with just enough resources and enough luck to get back on the road. And that's about how far I got on taking this thing apart. If you want to know how to rebuild a throttle body for a late 80s, early 90s General Motors small block, you should go talk to other people about their videos on the internet, because there's other people that tell the story of this rebuild much better than I ever will. But there you go. That's my story about broken down on the side of the road in California.